Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. Isn't that the best? So that's the Shakespeare quote from Macbeth. And I think in the movie Hocus Pocus, they do a spin-off of that. Well, I wanted to do a Friday Night Live trivia game, and my husband's on the phone with the internet provider right now. It froze. It just didn't work out. So I'm just filming a video, and I'm going to put this up. If we can get the internet we pay for, I swear, we pay over $470 a month for our high-speed internet because I do run a business. And I can't even do a trivia live game. It's crazy. So we'll see what he can work out there. But anyway, some October fun things I wanted to talk about, just in case I can never get good internet. Well, one of them was, this is the tea I'm drinking. And this is the Tazo organic chai tea. And why I'm mentioning this, besides having the really potent antioxidant of cloves, it does have the black pepper, black tea, cardamom, and cinnamon, but it also has star anise. And did you know star anise is in the medication Tamiflu, which treats influenza A and influenza B, and your doctor may put you on Tamiflu within the first 48 hours. Some doctors do the first 72 hours of signs and symptoms of the flu, or they do the test in office to see if you have influenza. Tamiflu can lessen the flu by about 1 day. So because there could be side effects with that antiviral medication, I don't know. But if someone does get really sick with the flu, maybe their doctor wants to put them on Tamiflu. I've only put patients on Tamiflu maybe twice because a 1 day less duration plus the cost of the medication and the side effect profile, I don't know if it's worth it. But maybe what's a good idea is to pick up some chai tea because it has star anise in it, one of the ingredients of Tamiflu. I thought that was a really good tip to know for fall and winter coming up. Other things, I wanted to do a channel shout out for this great Shelloween. It's called Shelloween. And she has a channel where she decorates her house, and I think she refers to it as a cabin. And it is all on Halloween, all out Halloween. You have to check out. If you like authentic, creepy Halloween, you've got to check out Shelloween's channel. And she's lovely. She actually responded to my comment, and she has a ton of followers. I don't know why she doesn't have 1 million followers, but check out Shelloween if you love Halloween. Another channel shout out is My Take. It's called My Take on Home and Garden. I love this channel. It's my guilty pleasure. It's mostly the gentleman that presents his home. He is married, and he's a collector. And this guy should have been an interior designer. And he's a maximalist. I'm a maximalist too. Like, the more the better. I love collecting items, as you can see. Well, I'm gonna do a home tour soon. But so My Take on Home and Garden. I looked at his video on what he's done for fall. He goes all out for the holidays. I just love it. So that's another one. You know, I've done my other channel shout outs to Inside Beauty with the old gal. We love her channel. Now there's some other channels I've been running across, but I do like to get their permission first before I do a shout out. I did tell Shelloween I was going to do a shout out for her because I don't know what I don't know what people want or don't want. So I try to be careful. Okay, and then, another channel I was going to tell you about is I am so addicted to, because, you know, I love my YouTube. It's Neil Oliver. Neil Oliver is an archaeologist, a historian, and an author, and he does shows like love letters to the British Isles. He does shows on the Celts and ancient British history. And his videos are beautiful. It shows the castles and the landscapes and the old world images, and very lyrical, and his accent is to die for. But I love it too on his YouTube channel. He also has modern commentary. So he just does a face-to-face video like this. And I love how he speaks to the importance of freedom of speech, freedom of thought, being independent and self-reliant. And I think that's all I'll say on that. You just have to go to his channel and let me know what you think. Comment down below if you checked out any of the channels I just mentioned. If you happen to hop over to Shelloween, please let her know that I sent you. And Neil Oliver, he has millions of followers, so you don't have to say anything. You're just going to enjoy his channel. And then, what was it? Oh, My Take on Home and Garden. Again, he's got thousands of followers, so he doesn't know me from Adam. But anyway, great channels to check out. If you have any recommendations for channels, please leave a comment below. And speaking of that, I was going to mention some great Halloween movies and books that I was going to ask you some questions about for trivia night, but since my internet is no bueno, we can't do that. So I was wondering, oh, you know, I love Kristen Hanna. Have you ever read books by Kristen Hanna? I have read a few of her books. The latest one out she had was The Four Winds, and if you haven't read that book, it's the story of a young girl and her family that moves to Alaska. It's such a good book. I know she has quite a few books out, but I am now a fan of Kristen Hanna. And I'm looking at this. She does have a Halloween-themed book. It's called Magic Hour. Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna. I'm going to have to read that. I haven't read it, so I'll let you know. A couple of other books that I may have to check out. This one here looks good. The Haunting of Blackwood House. That one, ooh, One Night in Salem. That looks good. Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. You know, I love the movie. I have to admit I'd never read the book, but the book gets such good reviews. I might have to check that out. And I did look on Amazon. The leather-bound signed volume goes for like over $400. So yeah. Now, back in the day when I was not freaked out by horror and all that stuff, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do horror and all that. You know, I came across a quote that if you stare into the abyss stares back into you. Well, yeah, that. So I kind of cut out my whole really gory horror type movies, but you know, every Halloween, I'll still play John Carpenter's 1978 movie Halloween with Michael Myers, with Jamie Lee Curtis. Jeez. I mean, I always have to have that one on. That one's, yeah. And I am a fan of Stephen King. I am. Some I cannot revisit. Like Pet Sematary, I read that once, and I just love my dogs and cats, and obviously my children so much. I just can't do it. If you have kids or pets, that book's really hard to get through. Oh my gosh, on Netflix, it's not The Haunting of Hill House. That's Shirley Jackson. It's The Haunting of Hill House. No, that's you guys, it's on Netflix. Anyway, there's two very creepy ones, and they are so good. I'm just kicking myself, but it is The Haunting at, it could be like Rob House or something like that. On another video, I'll have to say what it is. Like, oh my gosh, and it was a series. I want to say there was maybe 10 episodes in the series. It is so creepy good. It's like gothic horror without being like gratuitous, you know, having gratuitous violence or gore. It's so scary and good. Like good old-fashioned haunted house gothic scare. I just love that. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. No, I've never read that. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I did just read that. That was great, and I heard it's going to be made into a movie. If they do it right, that could be a beautiful movie, because the book, when they describe I'm not going to ruin it, but there is a haunted house, sort of, like a haunted, maybe not so much a haunted house, but super creepy house, super creepy family. And the descriptions are very, very creepy. So that was a good book. Yeah, so there's so many good Hollywood Hollywood movies, but also Halloween books. I don't know, what is my all-time favorite Halloween book? I mean, it'd have to be something by Stephen King. I have to say though, when I was a kid and read Amityville Horror, yeah, I couldn't sleep. No, that, and when I begged my dad to take me to the movie Jaws, I was just a little kid at the time. That movie scared me so bad, he had to call over the neighbors and help talk me down. I mean, I think even it rained that night, and I thought a shark was going to come in because it was raining. God, I was just horrified. Oh, and even now, like, I've been in the ocean, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of swimming in the ocean. Jaws ruined that for me. So I don't know if you grew up in the 70s and 80s. I'd be curious, did Jaws ruin that for you too? And did the Amityville Horror, that book, the book first came out? Gosh, so scary. Yeah, no, I haven't read the series. Oh, I haven't watched the movie. No, the series of what's the one that follows the life of the paranormal investigators? It was a man and woman team. Like, I think The Nun is in that family of movies. Oh, let me check which one it is, because I haven't watched those, but I've heard, let's see, let me see if I can find them here. Yeah, no, it wasn't that. Oh, well, it'll come to me. I may watch them because I am a fan of these two investigators. Again, I'll keep looking here. If you could think any titles of some Halloween movies, how the name escapes me right now. But anyway, she was from, she was like one of the first paranormal researchers, like in the 1970s. Gray hair, she wore it up in a bun. I cannot believe I'm totally forgetting her name right now. And now there's a few movies that are, the Conjuring movies. I think there's 3 different movies. I haven't watched them, but I'm reading all the reviews and they're just off the charts. People love them. And since I did kind of follow her, she was Catholic, but she kind of had a sixth sense and could sense things and see things. And so now these movies are loosely based on her. So I may watch those this Halloween if I'm brave. We'll have to see. But I do want to bring that up because, before my videos, I always try to say, I want nothing but bright light and only goodness around me. Any dark, negative spirits, you can just take a hike. I only want the good spirits around me, my guardian angel. And, I pray to God that I'm doing, my best, be my real authentic self, and hopefully I can help some other people. And so on one of my YouTube videos, I film here in 4K HD. Well, a little ghost mist popped up. And I actually did pray and say, my guardian angel, if you're here, feel free to show yourself. And they showed themselves. Well, when I upload it to YouTube, the best resolution is 780p, and you can't see it. When I look back on it on 4K and HD, I can clearly see it. So I had some comments about that I just deleted because what was the point? Nobody could see it. But if anyone has any tips, how can I get my 4K HD video that I shot on my iMac computer that has great resolution on photo booth, and YouTube only goes up to 780? I don't understand. Is it my internet? I don't know. But I would really like to upload that video in that resolution so you can see it. And again, I would just hope for any people that are on the fence about the spiritual world or guardian angels or God is around us, it's a bright little spirit mist that shows up, and I would love to be able to post that if I can figure out to get that resolution to come across. So I'm going to save that video. I'm not going to delete it until I can figure that out. But I will say it's very important to always have the intention of doing things in a non-selfish way. And I've had so many YouTube people leave lovely comments on my channel, and and just it's just a lot of positivity come my way. And I understand that I'll speak briefly on sleep paralysis. And yes, there's a lot of medical literature on sleep paralysis, that it could be due to a hormone imbalance, a melatonin imbalance, or what you ate that day, or you didn't get enough sleep, or maybe, it's a neurological condition, whatnot. But they don't so much talk about that in some cases there could be a spiritual astral plane situation involved. And so what I mean by that is, for example, I am a person that has been able to lucid dream since I was a teenager. And if you've been able to lucid dream, please comment below. I would love to know. I am going to do a separate video on lucid dreaming right after this one, so it deserves the time. But when you lucid dream, you are in the consciousness of the dream world. And if you've ever had a vivid dream, how real was that to you that you couldn't tell the difference? When you woke up, you're like, oh, thank God I'm awake. Because when you were in the dream, it seemed very real. Well, what is that plane of existence? It is a different plane of consciousness. And so I'll refer to, maybe there's a level of the dreaming plane where that type of consciousness can experience that realm. Well, there could be a higher astral plane where people that can deeply meditate, like monks and even monks from the Buddhist religion or the Franciscans, they could reach that level where they could deeply meditate and then kind of go to that plane of consciousness. Some refer to that plane as the void, where there's nothing but an enveloping blackness of comfort and love. And I'm not saying that's purgatory, because to me, purgatory is a little bit of a different plane of existence. It's not heaven nor hell. It's the in-between, where your soul has a chance to, work on itself, like work on the forgiveness, because your soul can't move up unless you've forgiven old transgressions and you've forgiven yourself. And you're willing to let go of the bad things and look at them and decide that they're wrong, and you want to do better and you want to forgive yourself and move on. I feel like purgatory is an area for that. But as far as when people go with astral projection and dreaming, I feel that's a different plane. And I feel the void could be somewhere with deep meditation, but I do feel there's a different consciousness where dreaming and lucid dreaming takes place. And anyway, back to sleep paralysis. So if someone wakes up and feels like they can't move, yeah, there's a physiological reason for that. Your brain shuts off certain things. So if you dream you're running, you don't get up and run down the street. And people that sleepwalk, they're having issues with turning off certain things in the body that have your body kind of rest and be immobile while you're dreaming, so you don't act those things out. But when you wake up and you're fully conscious and your body is not moving yet, after a few seconds, you should be able to move. I mean, that's how the body works. If more time elapses, okay, I can still attribute that to some neurological chemicals and hormones going on. However, if it goes on for even longer and you sense a presence in the room, or some people even report seeing a dark shadow person, for years people have said hat men, and then I did watch a video where people are starting to see more high-tech images of things. I haven't had anyone report that to me, or my patients don't tell me that. But they can report different things. Some people feel oppression, like something pressing on their chest, or they're having trouble breathing. And yeah, I can see there could be neurological reasons for that. But because I know the spiritual realm and the astral plane is real, I have to attribute that there could be a positive, but most likely in that case, a trickster or a negative entity that somehow was invited in. And I don't know what the reason was. I mean, you can see videos and thoughts about sometimes playing with mystical things like Ouija boards, or doing nothing but binging horror movies. You can kind of invite that vibration in. So I don't know. Getting back to that, that's why I'm just not a huge fan of watching violence and misery And, you know, being on social media, sometimes it's called doom scrolling, where you watch one kind of thing, you click on it, and you just want to see it really quick. Well, then that's all they feed you in your face. And then it's just this big cycle of despair. And I wonder if that's a big reason why young people that watch a lot of social media sites are getting depressed and have anxiety, because the entire world's despair is being thrown in their face through a fire hose. Anyway, that was a really long explanation about my thoughts on sleep paralysis, that it can be physiological, it can be neuroimbalance, neurochemical, hormone, but I do think there's a spiritual component. So I think that's a good topic for October, just kind of thinking about those things, but keep things light, stay positive, keep good energy around you. You have permission to let the negative things in your life go, and if you have family or friends that are just being negative and mean to you, you have permission to take a holiday from them. Why not, right? Take care of yourself. Okay, well, hope the internet comes back on. And I'll try to do a Friday Night Live video next week. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please like and subscribe. That would be great. Okay, guys, see you on the next one.